Hello and welcome. I am so happy that you are here. Today I am giving you a step-by-step walkthrough of one of my favorite spells for banishing debt. Or this can also be used to help you clear any money blocks or get rid of any limiting beliefs you may have around money. So whether you have debt that you want to make disappear or you have more of those inner blocks around money that you're ready to get rid of, this is for you. I have personally used this spell in the past to get rid of tens of thousands of dollars of debt, and so it's a very potent one and one that I'm really excited to share with you today. Now, this spell is part of the free Money Magic series. So if you want to learn more about the basics of money magic and get other spells I have for you around how to manifest money and how to multiply money, as well as exclusive tips for how to supercharge the spell we're going to go over today, as well as the other spells in this series, then definitely make sure you head to the link in the description below this video to register for this series for free if you haven't already. Like I said, this is all completely free, but the only way to get all of this, including those exclusive tips for supercharging these spells, is by registering at the link below. And by doing that, all of it will be delivered straight to your inbox. Now, before we dive in here, I want to make a quick note that you will see me in this spell and in other spells use different ingredients, different herbs, spices, crystals, all sorts of stuff. Now, you do not have to use the exact same ingredients that I use. In this spell, I will explain why I'm using each of the ingredients that I'm using, and you are welcome to copy my ingredient list exactly and do the exact same ingredients and Spellwork that I do, but you don't have to. You are more than welcome to use more ingredients, less ingredients, swap some out, even make changes or tweaks to the actual spell or ritual that we do. Basically, I just want you to know that you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff or tools or ingredients that you don't already have on hand at home or easily accessible to you. You also do not have to do things the exact way I do them. As always, trust your own inner guidance, trust your intuition, take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And of course, always be safe with your practices. If I suggest burning or disposing of some ingredients in your spell, or even handling certain ingredients that you might have skin sensitivities to or anything like that, make sure you practice safely. All right, let's dive into our spell for banishing debt and money blocks. For this spell, I'm using paper, a pen, a small dish, salt, which you'll want enough salt to fill that small dish, a pinch of garlic powder, a pinch of black pepper, and a pinch of cayenne pepper. All right, so we are here at my work table on my workstation here. So I am going to now walk you through this spell as I do it. So the first thing that I like to do for any spell work is to set my intention. And for this example, I'm going to say that we're going to be banishing $5,000 of debt. You could also use this spell to banish a limiting belief around money, like I have to sacrifice time with my family in order to make more money, or making money is hard, whatever you want to banish or eliminate with this spell. And then I am going to gather my ingredients once I'm clear on what I'm doing with the spell, once I have that intention in place. So I already have our ingredients here. I've got my paper, my pen, I've got a small dish, which is what we're going to be working out of as we do this spell. I have salt here, which will absorb the negative energy of this debt and purify it. I have garlic powder here to repel the debt and any other future debt. I have pepper to protect my finances, and I have cayenne pepper to burn through obstacles. I always like to think of pepper as that little extra oomph and kind of shooing things out. Now, all of these ingredients here will work to get rid of limiting beliefs as well, if that's what you're working with this spell. These are all kind of standard ingredients that work well across the board for banishing spells. Now that we have all of our ingredients gathered, we have our intention set, I am going to start with my spell work. So what I always start with is cleansing the area and all of my tools. So I like to smoke cleanse. I just use some cleansing incense. You can use sage, you can visualize cleansing, whatever you want to do. I like to just cleanse all of my tools. I'm cleansing all of the ingredients just with the intention to cleanse the energy. And I just kind of generally cleanse the energy of this space just so we're not working with any stagnant, stale, or negative energies. Once I cleanse, I like to take a deep breath to center myself, just really calling back my energy and my magic to me, really kind of centering it in me. I often see a ball of light. I see my energy as kind of tendrils of light that reach out for me. I'm in my mind visualizing pulling them all back in, calling all of that power back to me so that I can channel whatever I want or need to into this spell and have all of my power at my disposal. Once I have centered myself and my energy, I take a moment to just check in with my spirit guides and deities and see if there's any guidance I need to know before I start this spell. Right now, since this is an example, I'm not really getting much, but typically it's usually just like maybe cleanse again, or maybe it's recheck in on your intention. Maybe it's, hey, you need to go do something else before you do the spell. So most of the time it's just, go ahead, start the spell work, you're good to go, you're ready. Now we start with the actual spell. So what I do for this is I will write the amount of debt that I want to banish on my piece of paper. If you're working with your limiting belief, you can write out the limiting belief that you're going to banish here. So for me, I'm going to be banishing $5,000 of debt. So I'm just going to write, you can write this as an affirmation. You can write, I banish $5,000 of debt. I'm just going to write the actual thing itself. So we're just going to write $5,000 of debt. You can be more specific if you like. You can write out your limiting belief. Now, I'm going to start to add my ingredients into our little bowl here. So this dish, this is what we're going to be working out of. You can use a plate, you can use a kitchen bowl, whatever you want to use. I like having this little small, compact area to work in. So what we're doing is just adding in the salt first, and we're just filling the bottom of this little dish. Once the salt is in here, what I like to do is add my intention into it, and I do this as I add each of the ingredients in. And so again, my salt, the intention here is to absorb the negative energy and purify the energy of my debt, of the thing that I'm banishing. So I like to hold my hands over the salt, or just touch the bowl, whatever you like to do, and just pour that intention into it to have this salt absorb and purify the negative energy around this thing that we're banishing. And now we do this with the garlic powder. You can add all this in. I'm just going to add a little pinch of garlic powder. And I'm pouring the intention into the garlic powder to repel this debt and any future debt. And then we're going to take our pinch of pepper. And again, we are going to pour our intention into this ingredient for this pepper to protect our finances. And then we add our last ingredient with a little pinch of cayenne pepper. If you're working with any pepper or anything that might irritate your skin or your eyes, please handle with care, wash your hands appropriately, wipe them off as you need to. I just went and rinsed my hands off just so that I don't get this in my eyes if I happen to touch my face. So again, pouring our intention into the cayenne pepper to help it really dissolve and burn through this debt, to remove it quickly. Now I'm going to take this paper that we wrote our debt or our limiting belief on, and I am going to fold it up. Alright, so I folded it up really small. Does not have to be pretty, but we have it folded here. And I'm going to place it on top of this dish, on top of this bed of salt and ingredients that we have prepared here and poured our intention into. And now as it sits here on this little dish with all of our ingredients and our intention and our energy poured into it, I am going to say the following incantation, which you can say as well. If you like to, you can change this. I will also include this incantation in the email that you can opt into to get with all of the exclusive tips to supercharge this spell, so that it's in one easy to reference spot for you. So again, you can opt into that email in the link in the description below this video. But what the incantation is this. By golden coin and silver stream, banish now this binding dream. Debts that bind and chains that hold turn to stories no longer told. Banish debt, with wealth replace. Open now the doors of grace. Prosperity flows, it's my decree. As I will it, so mote it be. In gentle waves and softest breeze, lift these burdens with utmost ease. For those involved, let harm not fall. May this change be good for all. So you can absolutely swap out the word debt there for the word doubt if you are using this spell to banish a limiting belief or money block. Also, that last stanza, just as a side note, is one that I like to add to a lot of my banishing spells. This is just, it really sets that nice intention to have change happen for the highest good of all and in a really positive way, because there are a lot of ways that we could banish debt or limiting beliefs, and we want to make sure that the way we're going about it is one that we find enjoyable or find acceptable to us, and it doesn't happen in some negative way, right? We're just being specific and adding that intention for this debt or this barrier to be removed with the highest good of all at the forefront of it. Now, as I say that incantation, I visualize and feel the energy of the debt or block being really dissolved or burned away, or even carried away from me to be transformed into positive energy or abundant energy. That's kind of the end of the general spell work here, but then how we wrap this up is really important. So I take a moment standing here with this dish and I thank the debt or limiting belief that I am banishing for what it allowed me to do when I first adopted it, or any way that it benefited me in the past. And this might be honestly a really triggering thing for a lot of people, is where you get to this point in the practice where you take a moment and think about how this debt or this block around money somehow benefited you in the past. That can be really triggering. That can be kind of difficult for people to look at your finances that way, but I think that's really important to do here. So once I've taken a moment to do that, I say thank you to the debt or limiting belief. I say thank you for how you have helped me, but I am ready to move forward and I now release you. I then would take this paper and go burn it safely, right? Please be safe if you are burning anything. I will probably go take this and put it in my fire pit. You are welcome to dispose of it in whichever way feels best to you. And then I will then take all of the spices here that I've used, and I'm going to put them in the trash, and I will dispose of the trash immediately. Meaning I'm going to take it away from my home immediately, like put it in the trash can outside, take it to a dumpster, anything like that. I know some people like to bury this stuff or do other ways to dispose of it, entirely up to you and what feels right to you. I will also do the same with the ashes from that paper that I burn. I will, once it's safe and they've cooled down completely, also remove them immediately from my property. And once all of the herb or all of the spices or ingredients I've worked with have been removed from my property, after the ashes have been removed from my property, I will then take a deep breath and end my practice by shielding myself and grounding myself. So yeah, so that's it. That's our banishing debt or limiting belief or money block spell. Before we go, I want to give you a few tips on how to troubleshoot this spell. So if you do this banishing spell and it's not working after a few weeks or a few months, then here are some things that you can look at that I would recommend doing in order to see where you could maybe strengthen the spell or where things are going wrong. With this banishing spell, because it's such a kind of easy one-time thing that doesn't take a whole bunch of time, I would recommend redoing this spell, and as you do it, pay attention to a few key things. First, make sure that you are being very clear with your intention of what you want to banish. Second, try using some different ingredients that might change or boost your spell in different ways. Some suggestions for other things you could try are again included in those exclusive tips that you get when you register for the series for free, so make sure you go do that, the link in the description below. The third thing you could try is banishing a smaller amount of debt that maybe feels a little bit more doable to you and induces less doubt or skepticism in your ability to actually do a spell that banishes that amount of debt. Or if you're doing a limiting belief, what you might need to do is really do some inner work and reflect on, is there a deeper belief or a more underlying belief that's really holding me back from being able to do this spell and to banish this block or belief? Because oftentimes we have a lot of layers of beliefs. And so you might need to go in and see if there's a deeper story, a deeper wound around money that maybe needs to be addressed, and then do the spell around that. Now, aside from redoing the spell and troubleshooting it that way, if that's still not working, or you just feel like you did the spell right the first time and that it should be working, you don't know why it isn't, then what you really want to be paying attention to is whether or not you are embodying your spell work or your magic. What I mean by this is that after your spell is done, are you doubting whether it will actually work? Or are you acting like the version of you who the spell has already worked for? Are you thinking, feeling, and acting like the future version of you who already has had the debt be eliminated or that block be dissolved? If not, if you aren't embodying that version of you who's already had the spell work, if you are constantly doubting it or looking over your shoulder and wondering when or how or where the spell's gonna work and the money is gonna come in or that debt is gonna go away, then you really have to be honest with yourself and understand that that's where you need to start to shift first. If you feel like this is incredibly challenging to do, to cast a spell and then go about your life believing fully 100% that it has worked, you're not alone. This is the most challenging and difficult part of magic, of especially money magic. It's the most common problem that I see people run into with not just magic, but also just any manifestation practice out there, is that ability to have faith in your magic, in your manifestations, in your power as the creator of your reality. So if you want support with this, you are absolutely welcome to come join me inside of the Wealth Vibe membership. I created this space specifically to help people master the art of embodying the wealth that they desire, to learn how to tap into and hold that embodiment so that they can actually get the results they want around money. If you want to come check it out, you can click the link in the description below this video to get all the info on the Wealth Vibe and join in, or you can head to tailor.com/thewealthvibe. It's the most powerful and amazing community out there, just the best resource there is for suspending your disbelief. It is by far my favorite thing that I have created in my business to date. Enrollment is open right now, but it will close at the end of the month. So if you want to come join us, don't wait. If you are watching this video later and you've missed the enrollment period, just again, click that link below and that will allow you to sign up for the waitlist so that you're notified next time enrollment opens. And this next month, we're doing a challenge in there all around cultivating your connection with the magic around money in your life, which can include a lot of these spells and really taking them to that next level and embodying that next level of wealth that you desire so that your spells and magic become even more potent. All right, so that's our spell for banishing debt or blocks around money. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the other stuff in this series or future content I have for you. I will see you in our next video where we're going to be doing a spell for attracting or manifesting more money into your life. In the meantime, I am wishing you so much love and abundance.